It says greet Brian, and some Sundays I look right at it and forget it. So I guess that's one of the, I never thought of it, but it could be a blessing, old age, in that you forget easy. There's some things that we ought to forget. But at any rate, let's say good morning to Brian and tell him we're praying for him and hope he gets home soon. Are you ready? Good morning, Brian. We're praying for you and hope you get home soon. I'm aware of the fact that this is perhaps the most important part of any Sunday morning service, the time when we share the Word. I thank God every day, literally, for the man that was my mentor and played the most important part in my life when it comes to preparing for the ministry. I was talking to a man not too awfully long ago who has a desire to be in the ministry. And he said, boy, I really hit the jackpot. He said, I found a website where there's just all kinds of sermon outlines. And I don't know what he expected me to say, but here's what I told him. That's not the same as spending time in the Word. My teacher drummed it into me. Get in the Word, open yourself up to God, and don't become the echo of another man's thinking. And I've tried to follow that instruction faithfully all the years I've been in the ministry. I guess it's easy to buy sermon outlines and doctor them up and preach them. But the word that I share has always come from in here. And it got in there because I yielded myself to him and spent time with him going through his word. I want to talk to you this morning about what I consider to be one of the most difficult and dangerous times in the life of a child of God. You're all aware that Satan never ceases his efforts against us. He's always on the job, doing all that he can to discourage, to dishearten, and to tear a Christian down. And it's a constant struggle. Jesus said it would be. But the time that I'm referring to that I think is more difficult and more dangerous than any other time in the life of a child of God is the time that exists after you commit something to the Lord or you pray about something. Whether it be a big need in your life, need of direction, what should I do, how should I handle this? Doesn't matter what it is. When you commit something to him, it's usually followed by a period of waiting. And it's during that waiting period that the enemy really launches attacks. Satan's attacks are launched against our mind, our thinking processes. And it's very, very difficult when you've prayed about something, you've asked for direction or something that you need, perhaps a physical need, material, whatever. It's hard because Satan never lets up. It'd be a wonderful thing in some respects if you could ask God for something at 10 o'clock and 5 after the doorbell rang and there it was. You needed direction, have a big choice to make, a big decision to make. And you pray at 10 o'clock in the morning and before 10:15 the answer's there. You know exactly what God wants you to do. Boy, that would be wonderful. But it doesn't often occur like that. And I cannot tell you how long the waiting period will be. It's something I don't know. I have had the cases in my life where God answered quicker than I could even pray, really. The answer was on its way while I was praying. I've had times in my life where the answer was delayed a day or two. And I've had times in my life when the direction that I needed from God lingered and lingered and lingered week after week after week. And I think that we make a mistake during that time by buying everybody's book on the subject or everybody's tape on the subject, and then we try and pattern our life after their life, and we get in trouble because God's going to deal with you differently than he deals with others. We're individuals, and God deals with us as individuals. One of the difficult things about being a pastor, among many difficult things, is when people come to you and say, "Pastor, why? I've been praying about this for 3 weeks," or "Why? I've been asking God about this for 3 months. Why don't I get an answer?" Like the preacher knows. I can only tell you this. Psalm 37 and verse 7. I want us to start there this morning and go through the Word dealing with this subject, and hopefully we'll all be better equipped to handle it when our time this morning together is over. Rest in the Lord. That's a difficult thing to do. We are people of action. Some people more than others. Always on the go, always doing. Some are like a ball of fire that just keeps growing and growing. Rest in the Lord. When it comes to waiting for an answer to prayer, it's so difficult to just rest in the Lord. All right, now you've talked to him about it. You've put it into his hands. You're trusting him for an answer. Now rest. Relax. Cease your labor. Before you know it, you'll find yourself trying to make it happen. And that's dangerous. You'll find yourself trying to manufacture the answer to your prayer. Don't do it. I've observed Christians for years. "Pastor, pray that I'll get this certain job. I have an interview tomorrow. Pray I'll get the job." All right. And so tomorrow you go and you're interviewed and they say, "We'll contact you and let you know our decision." And people wait, and they wait, and they wait. And when the answer isn't forthcoming, they begin to figure, how could I expedite matters? I've known people that pulled all the political strings they could pull. Tried to find somebody that had an in with that company that could help them. Trying to arrange things, make it happen so I get the job. That's not God's way. And in the course of trying to make it happen, you may succeed. And you may give the glory to God. "Oh, God got me that job," when really it wasn't God at all. It's not God's highest will that you even be there. You arranged it. You worked it out. You pulled the strings. You made the contacts. In spite of the fact that you gave it to him initially, you worked it out. Rest in the Lord. Sometimes God's people misinterpret those who are resting in the Lord as lacking spiritual drive and spiritual energy. Well, do something. Do something. Anything's better than rest in the Lord. There have been times I've got so far out ahead of God and made a mess out of things. And there have been times I've got way behind God. It's that learning to follow the Spirit, recognizing that little voice that works within us, that still small voice. This is the way, go this way. Rest in the Lord. Well, our society teaches us that resting is synonymous with being lazy, and in the case of spiritual matters, do something. What are you going to do? True faith soon learns how to rest in the Lord and wait patiently for Him. I love the subject of patience. I really do. There's more in the Bible about patience than most of God's people know. Luke 21:19 said, "In your patience possess ye your souls." Do you know what that's saying? That a lack of patience could cost you your soul. We joke about our lack of patience. We make fun. Well, you know me, I'm not a very patient person, blah, 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 blah. I wouldn't brag about that. We, through faith and patience, inherit the Scriptures. Patience, patience, patience. Wait patiently for Him. Somehow in your mind, you have to divorce the object that you're praying for from just being that. And you have to come to the realization that it's the Lord that we're dealing with, not the job, not the illness, not whatever. It's Him. Does that make sense to you? That He's involved in every single part of our lives. So when you're trying to speed things up, you're really trying to speed Him up. When you're trying to manipulate, you're really trying to manipulate Him. Wait patiently for Him. Let Him open the door if He wants it open. Let Him nail it shut if He wants it closed. Him. Somehow we have a way of divorcing our prayers from Him. We see our prayer as a separate entity. This is what I need. Oh, God, I need this so bad. Lord, Him. Wait patiently for Him. Fret not thyself. Guaranteed that when you wait long enough for an answer, the enemy is going to point somebody out to you who doesn't love the Lord, who doesn't serve God, who has no inclination for spiritual things whatsoever, and he's going to point them out to you and say, look how they get blessed. Look at them. Look how they live. Look at their lifestyle. And they don't seem to have to go through this. Things just fall into their hands. Everything goes right for them. And the Word says that can easily happen to you when you're waiting patiently for the Lord. Now watch. And he said, don't fret yourself because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass.